A faint signal reached Earth and woke the sleeping giants. Dr. Amara Harada wiped the sweat from her brow as she adjusted the massive radio telescope array for the third time that night. The Arecibo 2 facility in Puerto Rico hummed with activity, its powerful dishes scanning the cosmos for any hint of intelligent life. After 15 years searching for extraterrestrial signals, Amara had grown accustomed to disappointment. "Still nothing from Sector 7 Alpha," called out her research partner, Dr. Viktor Petrov, his Russian accent thick with exhaustion. They had been working the night shift for 2 weeks straight, following up on what their AI analysis system had flagged as potential anomalies. "Wait," Amara paused, her hand freezing over the frequency controls. "Victor, come look at this." A pattern emerged from the cosmic static, faint but unmistakably artificial. The signal pulsed in mathematical sequences, prime numbers, then the Fibonacci sequence, then something far more complex. Amara's heart raced as she fine-tuned the receivers. "Mother of God," Victor whispered, leaning over her shoulder. "This is not natural background radiation." The signal strengthened, and suddenly, impossibly, words began to form through the static. Not in any human language, but somehow their translation software began parsing meaning from the alien syntax. "People of the Blue World, please respond. We are the Ethereal Collective, Dying Worlds. The Devourers come, request immediate assistance." Amara's hands trembled as she reached for the emergency communication line that connected directly to the Global Defense Initiative headquarters in Geneva. She had never imagined she would actually use it. "GDI Emergency Command, this is Dr. Harada at Arecibo 2. We have confirmed extraterrestrial contact. I repeat, we have first contact with an alien civilization." The silence on the other end lasted an eternity before a crisp voice responded. "Dr. Harada, stand by for immediate transfer to Director Hayes." Within minutes, Director Rebecca Hayes, the iron-willed leader of humanity's most classified military organization, was on the line. "Doctor, I need you to transmit everything immediately. And I need you to understand that as of this moment, you are both classified personnel. What you've discovered tonight changes everything." The signal continued, growing stronger by the hour. As the alien message became clearer, the true scope of the crisis emerged. The Ethereal Collective, a peaceful alliance of 12 species, was under assault by an empire called the Devourers. World after world had fallen to their relentless expansion. The Ethereals had detected Earth's radio emissions decades ago and had been monitoring human development ever since. "Your species shows remarkable adaptability," the alien voice continued. "You have survived ice ages, planetary catastrophes, and constant warfare. You are what we call Forgeborn, a species tempered by adversity. We need warriors who know how to fight impossible odds." At GDI headquarters, an emergency assembly was already underway. The world's military leaders gathered in the secured briefing room, their faces grim as they processed the implications. Director Hayes stood before the massive holographic display showing the incoming signal's trajectory. "Ladies and gentlemen," Hayes began, her voice cutting through the tension. "For 60 years, the Global Defense Initiative has prepared for this moment. We told the world we were defending against terrestrial threats, but our true purpose was always to prepare for what's happening right now." General Antonio Reyes, commander of the Latin American Defense Sector, raised his hand. "Director, what exactly are we dealing with? How do we know this isn't some elaborate hoax?" "Because of this," Hayes replied, activating the hologram. The room filled with three-dimensional star charts showing the positions of the ethereal worlds and the advancing Devourer fleets. The mathematical precision of these coordinates, the physics data they're transmitting, this is beyond any terrestrial technology. And there's something else. The display shifted to show long-range sensor data from humanity's deep space monitoring stations. "We've detected massive gravitational anomalies at the edge of our solar system. Something big is moving out there. And it's not natural." Colonel Yuki Tanaka, head of the Pacific Defense Fleet, leaned forward. "What are our capabilities? Can we actually help these aliens?" Hayes smiled grimly. "Colonel, I think it's time you learned about Project Prometheus." The lights dimmed as classified footage began playing. Massive spacecraft hidden in asteroid belts, weapon systems that could crack planets, soldier training programs that pushed human limits to their breaking point. For 6 decades, humanity had been secretly preparing for interstellar war. The Prometheus fleet consists of 12 dreadnoughts, each capable of faster-than-light travel and armed with relativistic weapons. Our crews have been training in classified facilities across the solar system. We've been ready for this fight longer than most of you have been alive. Back at Arecibo 2, the alien transmission was growing desperate. Dr. Harada worked frantically to establish two-way communication, while Victor coordinated with GDI's linguistics teams. Ethereal Collective, this is Earth. We have received your distress call. Please provide tactical information about your enemy. The response came quickly. Earth-dwellers, you must understand the scope of this threat. The Devourers are not merely conquerors. They consume entire biospheres. They leave nothing but dead rock in their wake. 47 worlds have fallen in the past solar cycle. We have perhaps days before our remaining strongholds are overrun. What makes you think we can help? Amara asked. Because you are the only species we've encountered that wages war as a natural state. Your planet's history shows continuous conflict, adaptation, and survival against impossible odds. The Devourers have never faced a truly warlike species. They rely on overwhelming numbers against peaceful civilizations. In the hidden depths of the Titan shipyards, Admiral Marcus Webb received his orders. The grizzled veteran had spent his entire career preparing for this moment, humanity's first interstellar war. His flagship, the U.S. Defiance, was a kilometer-long monster of metal and fury, bristling with weapons that could shatter moons. All hands, this is Admiral Webb. His voice echoed through the ship's corridors. Today we discover if 60 years of preparation was worth it. We're going to war against an enemy that has conquered half the galaxy. They think humans are just another weak species to be harvested. Let's prove them wrong. The Prometheus fleet emerged from its hiding places throughout the solar system. Ships that had been disguised as mining platforms and research stations revealed their true nature. Humanity's greatest warriors, soldiers who had trained their entire lives for this moment, took their positions. Captain Zara al-Rashid commanded the destroyer UES Vengeance, her crew handpicked from the elite special forces of 12 nations. As they prepared for a faster-than-light jump, she addressed her team. Listen up, people. We're about to make history. No human has ever fought in deep space. No human has ever faced an alien army. But we've got something they don't. We've been fighting each other for 10,000 years. We know war like they know peace. Show them what that means. The jump to the ethereal system took 18 hours. When the human fleet emerged from hyperspace, they found themselves in the middle of a massacre. The Devourer Armada stretched across space like a dark tide. Thousands of ships moving in perfect formation, methodically reducing once beautiful worlds to ash. Jesus Christ, whispered Communications Officer David Kim from the bridge of the Defiance. There are so many of them. Admiral Webb studied the tactical display. The enemy possessed overwhelming numerical superiority, but their ships moved in predictable patterns. They had grown accustomed to easy victories against unprepared opponents. All ships, this is Admiral Webb. We are severely outnumbered, but we have advantages they don't expect. Initiative is everything in this fight. Hit them hard, hit them fast, and don't give them time to adapt. The human fleet split into 4 attack groups, each targeting a different sector of the Devourer formation. The U.S. Defiance led the primary assault, diving directly into the heart of the enemy fleet with guns blazing. The Devourer's response was immediate but confused. Their massive battleships began turning to engage the human vessels, but they moved like lumbering giants compared to the nimble Earth ships. Humanity's advantage became clear within minutes. They had learned to fight in 3 dimensions while the aliens thought in terms of massive frontal assaults. Target their command ships first, Admiral Webb ordered. Cut the head off the snake. The human fleet danced through the enemy formation like sharks among whales. Their weapons, designed through decades of theoretical warfare, proved devastatingly effective against alien hulls. Relativistic projectiles punched through Devourer armor like paper, while human tactical doctrine kept them one step ahead of enemy fire. On the bridge of the Vengeance, Captain al-Rashid coordinated her ship's assault on a Devourer fortress ship. The alien vessel was 10 times larger than her destroyer, but size meant nothing when your enemy couldn't predict your movements. "Fire control, give me a spread of quantum torpedoes on their engine clusters," she commanded. "Navigation, prepare for emergency evasion. They're going to throw everything they have at us." The Devourer ship erupted in explosions as human weapons found their mark. But the victory was short-lived. More enemy vessels were converging on their position. "Captain," reported Tactical Officer Luis Santos, "we've got 12 heavy cruisers moving to intercept. Our escape route is being cut off." Al-Rashid smiled coldly. "Then we don't retreat. All power to forward weapons. Let's see how many of them we can take with us." But before the Vengeance could be overwhelmed, the cavalry arrived. The UES Retribution, commanded by the legendary Captain Isabella Cross, smashed through the Devourer formation like a battering ram. Her ship's experimental plasma cannons carved through enemy hulls with surgical precision. "This is Cross to all units," her voice crackled over the communications channel. "The aliens are regrouping. They're trying to surround us with their main battle line. Time to show them why humans are the apex predators of Earth." The battle raged for hours. Human tactics, developed through millennia of warfare, proved superior to the Devourer's brute force approach. But the sheer numbers were beginning to tell. One by one, human ships took critical damage. The destroyer UES Courage was the first to fall, her crew fighting to the last breath as enemy boarders overwhelmed their positions. "Admiral," reported Fleet Intelligence Officer Dr. Rachel Park, "we're detecting massive enemy reinforcements approaching from the outer system. If those ships join the battle, we won't be able to maintain our offensive." Webb studied the tactical display, his weathered face grim. The human fleet had already accomplished the impossible. They had stalled the Devourer advance and saved 3 ethereal worlds, but the cost was becoming unsustainable. "All ships prepare for Operation Broken Arrow," he announced, his voice heavy with the weight of command. Broken Arrow was humanity's most desperate gambit, a coordinated ramming attack designed to cripple the enemy fleet's command structure. It was a one-way mission for whoever carried it out. "Admiral, this is Captain Cross." Isabella's voice cut through the static. "The Retribution volunteers for Broken Arrow. We've taken too much damage to maintain combat effectiveness, but our engines are still intact." "Negative, Captain. I won't ask you to..." "With respect, sir, you're not asking. I'm telling you, my crew knew this was a possibility when we signed up. We didn't come here to play it safe." The UES Retribution broke from the human formation and accelerated toward the Devourer command ship, a massive dreadnought that coordinated the entire alien fleet. As enemy fire concentrated on the approaching human vessel, the rest of the fleet prepared for their final assault. "This is Captain Cross to all human ships." Isabella's voice remained steady despite the chaos around her. "When we hit their command ship, the aliens will be disorganized for approximately 60 seconds. Use that window to strike their core formation. Make our sacrifice count." The Retribution's final charge was magnificent and terrible. The human ship absorbed tremendous punishment as it closed the distance, her hull glowing white-hot from energy impacts. At the last moment, Captain Cross detonated the ship's antimatter containment. The explosion was visible from the other side of the star system. The Devourer command ship simply ceased to exist, and with it, the coordination that held their massive fleet together. "All ships, execute final assault," Admiral Webb commanded, his voice thick with emotion. "For Isabella and her crew. For humanity. For every peaceful species these bastards have murdered." The human fleet struck like a hammer blow. Without their command structure, the Devourers fell back on basic aggressive instincts, making them predictable and vulnerable. Human weapons found their marks with deadly accuracy, and ship after ship fell to Earth's fury. The battle's turning point came when the Ethereal Collective finally managed to coordinate their own forces. These peaceful species might not have been warriors, but they possessed advanced technology, and inspired by human courage, they found their own strength. "Human Admiral," came a musical voice over the communications channel. "This is Ethereal Commander Lirelai. Our defense fleets are moving to support your attack. We have learned from watching your tactics." Together, the Allied forces shattered the Devourer advance. The surviving alien ships retreated in disorder, their aura of invincibility broken by humanity's unexpected resistance. In the aftermath, as rescue crews searched for survivors and medics treated the wounded, Admiral Webb stood on the bridge of his damaged flagship and surveyed the cost of victory. Humanity had lost 4 ships and over 2,000 brave souls, but they had achieved something unprecedented. They had stopped the Devourer's expansion. "Admiral," reported Dr. Park, "we're receiving communications from over 30 different star systems. Word of the battle is spreading faster than light itself. Species that have hidden from the Devourers for decades are asking if humanity will help them." Webb nodded slowly. Earth had announced itself to the galaxy in the most dramatic way possible. They were no longer a hidden world on the edge of space. They were a power that others would either respect or fear. "Dr. Park, prepare a message for Earth Command. Tell them we're going to need more ships." The transmission from Commander Lirelai arrived as the human fleet was organizing for the journey home. The ethereal leader appeared on the main screen, her crystalline features reflecting the light of her dying homeworld sun. "Admiral Webb, the ethereal collective owes humanity a debt that cannot be repaid. You have saved not just our worlds, but shown the galaxy that the Devourers can be defeated. We offer you our technology, our knowledge, and our eternal friendship." "Commander, humanity accepts your friendship," Webb replied. "But we ask for something else in return. Help us find every species still hiding from the Devourers. It's time to build an alliance that can push these invaders back to wherever they came from." As the human fleet prepared for the long journey home, they carried with them the coordinates of dozens of worlds in need of liberation. The Ethereals had provided star maps showing the full extent of Devourer conquests. Hundreds of systems, thousands of worlds, billions of beings living under alien occupation. "Sir," Captain Al-Rashid approached Admiral Webb as he stood before the memorial wall, displaying the names of their fallen comrades. "The crew is asking when we'll return to Earth." Webb studied the star charts one final time before answering. "Captain, I don't think we're going home just yet. There's work to be done out here." The message they sent to Earth was simple but profound. "Mission accomplished, first contact established. The galaxy needs our help. Send everything you've got." Director Hayes received the transmission at GDI headquarters and immediately convened an emergency session of the world's leaders. The holographic display showed the scope of the task ahead, a galaxy-wide war against an empire that had terrorized the stars for centuries. "Ladies and gentlemen," Hayes addressed the assembly, "our children always asked us why we spent so much money on space defense when we could barely see past our own solar system. Today we have our answer. The universe is a dangerous place, and someone has to stand guard." The decision was unanimous. Earth would mobilize its full military might for the first interstellar war in human history. The Prometheus fleet would be expanded to 50 ships with crews drawn from every nation and military service. Humanity's greatest warriors would carry the fight to the stars. 3 months later, as the expanded human fleet prepared for its second deployment, Admiral Webb stood before his assembled commanders. The memorial wall had grown longer, but so had their list of victories. Word had spread throughout the galaxy. Earth's warriors were coming. "We leave tomorrow for the Vegan system," he announced. "Intelligence reports indicate the Devourers are preparing to assault the last free worlds in that sector. Our mission is simple: find the enemy, fix them in place, and destroy them." Captain Al-Rashid, now commanding the rebuilt U.S. Vengeance, raised her hand. "Admiral, what's our exit strategy? How do we know when the job is done?" Webb smiled grimly. "Captain, the job is done when peaceful species can sleep safely in their beds without fear of genocide. When the word Devourer is just a memory that parents use to scare their children into behaving. When the galaxy remembers why you don't threaten Earth's friends." The human fleet departed Earth's solar system with the blessings of every nation and the hopes of every peaceful species in the galaxy. They carried with them the accumulated knowledge of humanity's greatest military minds, weapons forged in the crucible of constant conflict, and something the Devourers had never encountered: the absolute refusal to accept defeat. As the ships engaged their faster-than-light drives and disappeared into the cosmic void, a message broadcast across all frequencies, reaching every corner of known space. "To all peaceful species hiding in the darkness, to all those who have lost worlds to the Devourers, to all who have given up hope, this is Admiral Webb of the Earth Defense Fleet. We are coming. The sleeping giants of the third planet are awake, and we remember how to fight. The galaxy would never be the same. The age of devourer dominance was ending, and the age of human expansion among the stars had begun. And somewhere in the depths of space, the echo of Captain Cross's sacrifice continued to inspire new generations of warriors who understood that some things were worth dying for. The universe had called for help, and Earth had answered. The war for galactic freedom had begun.